Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Nama Parvati, Badaye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsabesa, Sivasidambaram, Tenarude Sivane, Pochi, and not Tavarkum Reva, Pochi, Thiruchitrambalam. எடுக்கும் மாக்கதை இந்தமிழ் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட தடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீள்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள்ளிருத்துவாம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதக்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறைச் செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொல்லையதாம் திருத்தொண்டத் தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி ஒல்லையவர் புராண கதை உலகறிய விரித்து உரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் பணிவோம் பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதய வந்து கூடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series. With the blessings of the Almighty Lord Shiva, we are here to think through the wonderful history of Shri Kazharitrarivar Nayanar today. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Deva Chekla Swamigal and also to the 57th Pontiff of Kunamatti Kalyanapuri Adina, Srila Sri Guruma Sanidanam, Srila Sri Rajasravana Manikavasaka Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with the history of Shri Kazharitrarivar Nayanar. Kazharitrarivar Nayanar's actual name is Cheraman Perumal Nayanar. And he got the name Kazharitrarivar as the Lord of Thiruchitrambalam gifted him with this capability to be able to understand the speech of animals and also the thoughts that anyone could have in his heart. He'll be able to recognize that. So that's the meaning of Kazharitrarivar. King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar, it's a very big puranam actually. There's a lot of things, and we will be also covering some of the history of Sundaramurti Swamigal as well. So let's start with the puranam. The capital city of mountainous Chera Empire is called Magodai. Currently, it's known as Kodungallur. The Chera Empire, none other than what we currently say Kerala state, the state of Kerala, the country that was gifted by Lord Shiva to Parasurama. That's why we call it God's own country. Magodai was the capital of Chera Emperor at that time, and currently it's known as Kodungallur. Probably you would have heard about Kodungallur Nagadevan temple, because Kodungallur was the capital of Chera's kingdom at that time. In Kodungallur, from Kodungallur, a few kilometers, 3-4 kilometers from Kodungallur, a wonderful, spacious temple located. It's called Thiruchitrambalam temple. The Lord of Thiruchitrambalam is called Sri Anjaikalathapar. The goddess name is Umadevi. The holy Tirtham is Shivaganga. Periyapuranam, we're discussing Periyapuranam, and this Puranam ends in Thiruchitrambalam. That's the last temple on earth we will be covering with Periyapuranam. Then it goes to Kailash, and the Puranam will end. Mahodaya, King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar is from Mahodai. He was called Mahodayar when he was a kid. So Mahodaya was born in the family of Chera kings. Since birth, Nayanar was not interested in the life of luxury, because he should be having a life of a usual prince, son of an emperor, and He should be enjoying the life of luxury and the pleasure associated with the kings and palaces and so on. But he was not interested in learning, enjoying any of those, or even learning the arts and sciences needed to rule a kingdom. He was so eager to learn only Shivagamas very thoroughly and love. He just, his true love was for Lord Shiva, nothing else. Devachekula Swamigal composed a wonderful phrase explaining how Nayanar was growing up. I'm going to read that up now. மண்மேல் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் மண்மேல் சைவ நெறிவாழ வளர்ந்து உன்னை வெளி என்பால் கண்மேல் விளங்கு நெற்றியினார் கழலே பேணும் கருத்தினராய் உண்மேவி அன்பினராகி உரிமையற்ற தொழில் புரியார் தென்னீர் முடியார் திரு அஞ்சை களத்தில் திருத்தொண்டே உரிவார். So basically, Nayanar was living to revive and spread Shaivism in this world. As he grows, Shaivism grows. Shaivism revives, it flourishes. And he was just thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva all the time, as he had attained so much punya through his previous incarnations. The love came from previous birth as well, and he became a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva and started doing services in Thiruchitrambalam right from his childhood days instead of living a life of prince. So Nayanar was doing services in Thiruchitrambalam temple. There is another song for us, Devachekula Swamigal composed mainly, describing how Nayanar was serving the Lord. Devachekula Swamigal says, "Ulagin iyalbum arasiyalbum urudiyalla ena unarvar." So Nayanar realized at a very young age that the worldly life, and the political power are unstable. It keeps changing. It never stays stable. So what's the point in sticking with that? So he just got rid of that bondage of the worldly stuff. He would get up early in the morning, take bath early in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. The first bath is through water. He'll take bath, and then the second bath is through vibhuti. புலரியெழுந்து புனல் மூழ்கி புனித வெண்ணீற்றினும் மூழ்கி. The first bath is to take a bath through water, and then the second bath is in vibhuti. Then he will do lots of services in gardening, do gardening work. He will clean the temple. Then he will he will pluck fresh fragrant flowers. He will make flower garlands for Lord Shiva. He would also offer a garland made of his wonderful padigams, the Tamil songs, singing the praise of Lord Shiva. He did many acts of pure service to Lord Shiva. That's what he does every day. Chengol Purayan, who was the father of King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar, now he's a prince. He was the ruling king for Chera kingdom at that time, and then he decided to spend the rest of his life in doing spiritual services as well. So he gave up his kingdom and became a seeker, went to the forest to live a life filled with love and just seeking himself. So the king is gone. The country is without the king, but the prince is serving Lord Shiva in Thiruchitrambalam temple. The ministers got together and discussed, and then they decided to make Magodaya, Cheraman Perumal Nayanar, as their new king. Because as per the lineage and policy, he should be the next king. Then they went to Thiruchitrambalam. They paid their respect to the prince, and they made a humble request that your father has gone out. He's no longer with us. The country needs a king, and as per the rules, you should be the next king. We request you to kindly accept this and start ruling your country. Then Perumal Kodayar, Cheraman Perumal, he's he became worried because becoming a king would have so many responsibilities attached to it, and now he's leading a calm life devoted to serving Lord Shiva, thinking of only Lord Shiva and serving his devotees. And this the spiritual services would become impossible. He will not be able to continue with them if he becomes a king. That's why, at the very young age itself, he gave up that luxury life and power. And now it's coming back to him again. Then Magadya said, the ministers insisted him again, there's no other choice. We need to protect our country and people that your forefathers have done. And then Magadya said, I would go and pray to my Lord in Thiruchitrambalam. I will agree to become your new king only if Lord Shiva grants me the permission, not otherwise. So he went back to the temple and prayed to the Lord. Then the Lord gave him the approval. The Lord gave him not just the permission, but also the strength, valor, generosity, weapons, the abilities, skills, everything he needs to be a great king. Lord Shiva blessed him with all these great capabilities and qualities. Because he never learned that. He never spent time in learning the he spent all his time serving Lord Shiva. And then Mahodaya accepted that. He was announced as a new king, and the whole Chera's country was celebrating his incarnation. The Chera came. He went to a ship. Usually, he's a great great devotee of Shiva. So the moment he got the power, he wanted to go to the temple and pay respect to Lord Shiva. He went to the temple of in Thiruchitrambalam on his royal elephant. He came across and he had a great worship. He came out and then again sat on the royal elephant and going across the streets of Kodungallur. And during that time, he came across a washerman who was carrying a load of sand round used for washing dirty clothes. The salt in that sand had dissolved in his sweat and dried up again, making it look like a coating of vibhuti, as if he was wearing vibhuti all over his body, the holy ash. The moment he saw that, the king, Cheraman, saw that, he got down from the elephant and he rushed to him and paid his obeisance to the bare-bodied washerman. The washerman got shocked, surprised, and said, my king, I'm just a washerman. I don't know, why are you paying respect to me? Everyone got shocked. Why the king is doing that? The king explained, no, you just reminded me of the holy ash. I know you're a washerman. You just reminded me of holy ash. I am your. He said, Adiyen Cheran, Adi Cheran. I am the slave of Lord Shiva devotee. Because you have the form. You just reminded me the form of Lord Shiva devotee. Tiruveda. So he paid his obeisance, and the citizens were thrilled by the simplicity, humility, and the true love of their king for Lord Shiva, and praised him for those fine qualities. So during the ruling of King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar, the kings of Pandya kingdom and Chola kingdom became best friends of Chera kingdom, and many kings subordinate to pay him the tributes. The Dharma was flourishing, Shaivism flourished, prosperity grew up, the devotion to Lord Shiva literally got revived during the rule of King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar. So people were blessed to have a king like Cheraman Perumal Nayanar. Nayanar does Shiva Puja every day. Shiva Puja. There's a wonderful phrase composed by Thiruchitrambalam Swami in Periyapuranam describing with what type of mindset Nayanar was doing Shiva Puja. Here it is. Thiruchitrambalam. Needum urimai perarasal நிகழும் பயனும் நிறைதவமும் தேடும் பொருளும் பெருந்துணையும் தில்லை திருச்சிற்றம்பலத்துள் ஆடும் கழலே என தெளிந்த அறிவால் எடுத்த திருப்பாதம் கூடும் அன்பில் அர்ச்சனை மேற்கொண்டார் சேருகுல பெருமாள். The Chekla Swami says, Nayanar had a clarity in his mind on four things. Number one, நேடும் உரிமை பேரரசால் நிகழும் பயணம், the core benefit of ruling an empire, a kingdom like Chera's kingdom, and the end of spiritual practices. That's the second one. So, what are we going to get by ruling a kingdom? What's the benefit of doing spiritual services? The end benefit. The second one. The third one, what should one look for? What should one look for? Usually the answer is money. We all look for money. We all look for power. We all look for worldly pleasure. There are many things humans, usually look for. And the last one is perundunai, which is protection. Who's always on our side to protect us? Who can we rely on? We rely on families, husband and wife, father, mother, wealth, power, and other people, but they're not the real protection. So we will learn it practically anyway. So he listed out the four things: the core benefit of ruling a kingdom, at the end of the spiritual practices, and look for what do we need to look for, and what is the protection? Who's going to be on our side all the time? It's only the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. That's the answer. So 4 questions. What's the core benefit of ruling a kingdom? What do we get by doing spiritual practices? The end of spiritual practices. And what do we need to look for? Who's on our side and giving us protection? Thillai Thiruchitrambalam Adum Kadale. It's the lotus feet of Lord Raja who dances in the golden court of Thillai. So he had that clarity in his mind. With that clarity, he was doing Shiva Puja. We have to do Shiva Puja with that clarity as well. It's another lesson that we need to learn and carry forward from Periyapuranam. So that Nayanar does Shiva Puja every day in the morning as prescribed in Shivagmas. At the end of his worship, every day, Lord Shiva will give him the sound of his ankle ornament. He does the puja to Lord Nataraja. At the end of the puja, Lord Shiva gives him that sound showing that he accepted the puja. He enjoyed the puja. So he gets that every day. The syllabuli, the sound of ankle. So Nayanar was doing puja like this and ruling the country. Everyone was very happy. In the meantime, the Chekla Swamigal started taking us through another part of the story in Pandya kingdom. Panabhadra, a great Shiva devotee, who gave up his job in the palace of Pandya king, and he started singing the praise of Lord Somasundara in Madurai. So he became poor. He had no money. So he became a very poor poet living in Madurai, and he was singing the praise of Lord Shiva all the time. And Lord Somasundareshwara wanted to put an end to his poverty. He gave Lord Shiva, Somasundareshwara, gave Panabhadra a palm leaf and said, I've given a letter to another great devotee in Chera's kingdom, King Cheraman Perumal nayanar. You take this palm leaf and give it to him. He will give you everything you need. Then Panabhadra got very excited. Then he left for Thiruchitrambalam. See, the message here is the Lord could have given Panabhadra the wealth he needs immediately, Lord Somasundareshwara, or he could have instructed the Pandya king to give him what he needs. Instead, the Lord gave Panapatra a letter and asking him to hand this over to King Cheraman. So you see how the Lord recognizes the true love of King Cheraman. The Lord wishes the Panapatra should get the wealth from Cheraman. It's as equal as getting it from him. Then Panapatra went to Malaynadu, state of Kerala, and he went to the palace in Kodungallur. Then he informed the god that Lord Shiva in Madurai has given the king a letter which he needs to hand over. The moment he heard that news, King Cheraman Perumal, he got so excited and he shed copious tears, saying that Lord gave me a letter. He was so excited, and then Nayanar was paying his obeisance to Panapatra. He gave him a warm welcome, and then he opened the palm leaf, and then he started reading words of Lord Shiva. Let's also pay our obeisance to the Lord of Madurai, Sri Somasundeshwara Perumal, by singing that great Tirumugam. It's called Tirumuga Pasram. This is the first padigam of 11th Tirumurai, of 12th Tirumurai. Thiruchitrambalam. மதிமலி புரிசை மாட கூடல் பதிமிசை நிலவு பால் நிறவரிச் சிறகு அன்னம் பயில் பொழில் ஆலவாயில் மன்னிய சிவன் யான் மொழிதரு மாற்றம். So, Lord, every single word from the Almighty Lord Shiva, our Lord. The first part he covered the from. Who's this letter coming from? Who is it coming from? Lord Shiva. I am the Lord of Madurai, Alavai. And then the second part is to. Who am I writing this to? பருவ கொன்மு படியன பாவலர்க்கு உரிமையின் உரிமை உதவி ஒளி திகழ் குரு மாமதி புரை குலவிய கூடைக்கீழ் செருமாவுகைக்கும் செரலன் காண்க. King Cheraman, I am writing this to you. You're as equal as the cloud gives water to people. You never disappoint anyone. You give anyone comes to you and asks you something, you give him. பண்பால் யாழ்பயில் பான பத்திரன் தன் போல் என்பால் அன்பன் தன்பால் காண்பது கருதி போந்தனன் மான்பொருள் கொடுத்து வரவிடுப்பதுவே. Here's my devotee, Panapatra, standing right in front of you. He is a great devotee like you, my devotee, and he has come to see you. You give him all the wealth that he needs and then send him back to Madurai. Manbarul koduttu varaviduppadu. The Lord knows that the king will not leave him. That's why he made sure he instructed him to send him off. Then King Cheraman Perumal got so excited and shed copious tears. Chekla Swami explains in Periyapuranam, the tears that came out of the king's eyes went all the way up to the chest, and it was even cleaning the vibhuti he wore on his chest. When we shed tears, hardly sometime a simple drop, and it will immediately disappear. It won't even come over here until then, but but he was shedding copious tears. Then King Cheraman Perumal ordered ministers to come down, and he gave a command to his ministers, bring all the wealth of our Cheran's kingdom to this palace. And they brought them all there, jewels, gold, coins, and everything else. Then King Cheraman Perumal said, Lord Shiva asked me to give you the wealth. Everything I have, gifted by Lord Shiva. And please take over. Please accept everything I have. It's all yours. It's all yours. All the jewels, everything that belongs to me, it's yours. And he also said, the forces, my armed forces, is yours. Finally. And I will also give you my Chengol, the power of the Chola Emperor. I give you this. Please accept it. Panabhadra was overwhelmed by the love of King Cheraman Perumal Nayanar for Shiva and his devotees. He said, my dear king, the Lord of Madurai, I gave up my job in Pandya's palace just to serve my Lord in Madurai, Somasundareshwar. I just need some wealth to lead my day-to-day life. That's all I need. I am living to serve my Lord in Madurai. I need to go back to Madurai. I don't need this power and all the word that you said. I will take what I want, but I go back to Madurai. It's the order of Lord Shiva. You just read that. Then Cheraman Perumal realized that. Oh, yes, the Lord said, Manburul Kuduttu, Varavidupaduve. Then King Cheraman Perumal offered Panabhadrar with immense wealth, many cows, jewels, elephants. Panabhadrar returned everything after taking a few of the gifts he needed. Then he took leave of Cheraman Perumal and went back to Madurai. Cheraman Perumal was thinking of this, the kindness that Lord Shiva showed for him for a long time, and he continued to do his Shiva Puja. And then a major turning point in his story. We will cover that in the next session. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் ஓங்கிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவே உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. பிரான் கார் கொண்ட குடை களரிற்றறிவார் நாயனார் மலடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.